Homie, we do it all the time. Stay on the grind. My homies keep it. Homie, we do it all the time. Stay on the grind. My homies keep it.
I'm here with Drok and HueGo from
How you doing?
Mind, Body, and Funk, and they're shooting their video today, Saturday. Are you guys excited?
I'm super excited.
Super excited.
Yeah, like we got a lot. Well, supposedly there's a lot of people coming. So it's supposed to be a good vibe, man. So we're just gonna try to streamline this shit.
Sounds
Everything
fun.
rolling.
My favorite song from the project is "Can't Hold the Torch" because you guys sampled Minnie Riperton, and I love her. If you could choose a song off of musical selections, which song would you choose?
For me personally, my favorite song on there is "Homies," just cause does. Just cause we can have the same favorite
I
song.
know what you're
But cause for one, the Ill and Out scratch sample on that, and two, I just never it was "Homies" was interesting for us to make because we never. If you listen to our older stuff, we never talked shit like that on wax. Like, we always said disrespectful shit, like, yeah, I'll take your girl, da da da. Yeah, we always talked that talk, but like, we were never inadvertently cocky about the things that we do like that on Homies. And I thought it was us kind of breaking up the glass ceiling, being comfortable, because we used to be really mindful of that. Like, we used to be like, yo, we're not going to put out this song because we said this, and that's not the message we're trying to convey. But then we weren't really being human, you feel me? Like, humans get buff, but that doesn't mean you're not that doesn't mean you're a bad person. Cool.
My favorite track, besides Homies, because that's that word, has to be probably Let Me See. Cause just because it was the first one from the project, and just like when Nick sent it to me, it was like, oh nah, so this is how we come in? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's such a well-rounded sound, and like just even the way it sounds, like it's just like crazy. Like it's beautiful to me. Like when I hear it, it's just like, that's when I'm talking about that mood. Like it's just like, wow, like niggas hitting highs and lows and shit. And, the way we come in is just like we talking that, like how we talk. Like me and Nick said, tikka-ta, tikka-ta, tikka-tikka-ta. That's code word for hitting it raw. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's some crazy shit. No one else is thinking like that. This is how we coming. You know what I mean?
Let Me See is runner-up for me, just because it was like, Let Me See, because this was around the time like we stopped rapping. Like David stopped rapping for a minute, and I stopped too. I was going through a writer's block, and Let Me See was the first song that brought me out of the writer's block. And it wasn't gonna make it on the project too. Like we was just like, yeah, Let Me See. We just tested the waters with that. You feel me? But this is the direction we're headed in. You feel me? But then it ended up making it. It shit ended up being hot. After I mixed it, I was like, wait, this shit actually hot as fuck.
And it's my favorite part of the song is just the beginning. And then Nick goes, perfect. It's fucking perfect.
If you guys could perform with any artist, dead or alive, who would you choose?
HueGo.
When you guys were in high school, you were in the rap group MOA, and you graduated high school and it kind of dissolved. What made you guys come back and collaborate and make music together?
Well, MOA was like us since way back in the day, since we were like 15 or 16. And, I kind of grew up with, MOA, Nick, Lizzie, Cash, Kwame, everybody being there. And it was kind of like, when you get older, you grow up, you got different views, different things you're worried about. People want to do different things, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be a rapper for the whole life, and everybody wants to make music. So it's kind of like, everybody kind of went their separate way, and then me and Nick kind of came back together like, yo, like this is what we love to do, so why not keep doing it? We're good at it. There's no point in stopping.
It was like, because when we were in MOA, it was like me and Drok. I remember like we used to have these crazy ass email conversations, like all four of us, we would just be sending songs back and forth. Like Izzy would do a hook and then send it to Drok, and then Drok would send it to me, and then it was just like we had this really big network with me and Drok particularly. We spent a lot of time together making music. Like I would go to his house and we would just make music. You know what I'm saying? So even when we disbanded after high school, you know, I started doing some solo stuff. You know, I dropped 2 singles, and then one day I just called David like, yo, like, you should probably start doing this shit again, you know, because it was good and it was a great vibe. So I felt as though we'd have been doing ourselves like an injustice to not have started making music together. Because I mean, like, we can do it by ourselves, but we're definitely better together.
Together. How did you guys come up with the name Mind, Body, and Funk?
It was actually crazy because, like, alright, so like a song way back on our first tape, you know, Garden Volume 1, there's a song called They Know. And, you know, I got on it and I started going on, I was like, they know, that flow, that funk. And then we was like, oh, we was playing with it, and then at the end, to bring it out, we was just like, that mind, that body, that funk, you know, off of the mind, body, and soul, like something different. And then, you know, it was kind of like, that song kind of emulated us the most, because, you know, we were singing on there, rapping, screaming, doing funny, making voices. So it was like, it was just like, it wasn't like our most popular song, but like to us, it was like, oh, that's us. You know, we kind of just took that, like, that's the feeling of us, and we just kind of like made it a thing.
Yeah, it was like, I remember it, like, Mind, Body, and Funk was a thing that we did, and it was something that we lived by as a squad, but like, it wasn't until after high school, I remember, like, I was listening to They Know, and I heard it, and I was like, yo, this is actually, like, something. Like, it can be something. It can be turned into something to propagate off of. So, like, you know, it was more so of an unspoken bond at first. It didn't become lucrative and or, like, a movement until after high school.
I remember when I first heard the name, and when I first heard it, it kind of reminded me of, like, my reaction to music, like what goes on in my mind, what my body does, and like the definition of funk. And I just remember I was like, this is a great name. Like, it's literally how you react when you listen to any type of music. And I think anybody who listens to that name can kind of understand that.
Yeah, you know, that's the point. The point of Mind, Body, and Funk is universal. It's just all about embracing that inner, like, I don't want to say that inner creativity,
that inner pizzazz.
Yeah, like, you know, everybody listens to music, everybody loves it, and it's like, it's all about, yo, just not being ashamed of how this shit makes you feel. Mm-hmm. You know, if you want to dance, don't stand there and look cool, nigga, move. You know, like, go do something, like, do something. So, you know, that's really what we're trying to bring to people. You know, just don't be ashamed of how certain music or just how you feel in general. You know, just be. Honestly.
The definition of funk is elements of rhythm, blues, and soul mashed up together. What is your definition of funk?
I mean, funk, man. Funk is like, it's like that feeling like you get, like, you know, you hear something makes you want to dance, you know, you're like, oh. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that light in your head, like the jitter that you get, like, that makes you want to do something. Like, you know, you're laughing, you can't stop laughing. Like, that feeling you have, that's funk. Like, funk is anything good for you, you know, good for your soul, that makes you happy. Like, I always think of funk as, like, kind of like an out-of-body experience. Like, when I hear some shit that I really, really, like, enjoy, like, I'll be in my head and just be, like, colors and lights and, you know what I'm saying, I'll be moving in my head and shit. And sometimes you're not moving outside, but as long as you're enjoying it, you know what I'm saying? Really getting it.
Word up. That's deep. Nah, on some shit, funk to me is like, it's unapologetic. You know, I look at funk is important to me because I understand where it comes from. You know, it's important to make sure and incubate and make sure that something like funk stays alive. Like, especially, you know, just growing up, hearing it in the house and seeing what it did for my parents, like what James Brown did for my parents, you know, what Parliament did for my parents, what Zapp and Roger did for my parents, like the way it made them feel. I understand how important it is to make sure that our generation gets that, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't necessarily have to come in the shape or form as the way it was in the 70s, but, you know, it's important to take that vibe and just kind of like spread it to people. So to me, it's just like, I don't want to say unapologetically black, but it's just like unapologetically you. Whatever, if you listen to funk music, you are a fan of you. You know what I'm saying? And when you play it out loud for other people to hear, and when you dance, it's like, nigga, this is me. Who are you? You know?
I definitely have that feeling. When I listen to music, when I think of funk, I think of like the movement of my body, that like how it makes me want to move, like just listening to it and just having a deep understanding and considering like how great music can be for someone. And I think that funk, bringing soul, bringing R&B, bringing rhythm all together, even bringing it back into music now, it kind of takes me back to think like, oh, this is where my parents started. Like, this is the music that my parents listened to, that they feel the same way I did when I listened to it. Like, they want to move. They want to take music and apply it to their life. So I understand funk, and I think that's why it's such a big part of your name, just mind, body, and funk. The last word to represent just the movement of your music is great. Your music is definitely different from mainstream artists like Young Thug and Future. What kind of vibe does your music inspire?
I mean, I think like the vibe is it's like a fun vibe, you know, do what you want to do vibe, like kind of just get lit, like have fun. I don't think any of our music is like anything negative. Like, even when we speak on negative topics, it's kind of like, this is how it is, but fuck it, like, you know what I'm saying? Let's dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, I feel like me and Nick, we make music for niggas who get bitches and, you know, girls who get niggas and, you know, do fun shit. Like, don't sit on their ass all day. Like, niggas, you know, girls that are like, oh, let's go rock climbing and shit, and smoke weed and all that stupid shit, you know?
Yeah, I think, you know, for one, I think particularly, like D-Rock said, it's kind of like, yeah, like, we inspire people. Like, the vibe we inspire is more so like, yo, just do what the hell you want. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, me and D-Rock, we're our own people. You know what I'm saying? We're not Young Thug or Lil Uzi or in them because we didn't grow up like that. That's not what we want to put out. And that's not a jab at them. It's just more so, you know, to each his own, you know? Like, we're more so trying to inspire people to think a little bit more, you know, feel good about themselves, feel good about their situation, and if they want to change the situation, what can I do to change it? You know what I'm saying? And, yo, you don't gotta be depressed about it. I mean, shit hard right now for me, but I ain't tripping, you know, I'm good, you know. It's like, we're really trying to show people that there's, like, negativity, dealing with negativity and allowing it in as a choice. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to look at everything in a negative way, and you don't have to let negative circumstances affect you at all. That's a choice.
So, what would you say, what target audience are you guys trying to obtain?
Yeah, we're trying to get everybody.
I feel like our audience is not really like a specific target, because, like, I mean, you could be in like a high school, you could be like, you know, some of my dad's friends like my music, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on how you feel about music.
We've done shows for 40 and 50-year-olds, got them jumping out their skin, you know what I'm saying? We've done shows for younger children, we've done shows for people our age, we've done shows for high schoolers, middle schoolers. You know, I think our message is universal. I think it's packaged the right way, you know, everybody can learn to appreciate it.
I think that's awesome that you guys want to attract everyone, not just one certain audience. That some artists do. Some artists just want to get one typical target audience so they can make it to fame, but with you guys, I think you care more about the music, and if you guys become famous, it's the fame that comes with it, but you just want to inspire, and I think that's awesome. What is Musical Selections about, and where did you guys get the name?
Musical Selections, technically, well, basically it's about enlightening people of the things that came before them. So essentially, you know, on Let Me See, if you listen closely at the end of the song, you know, the rain is not, you know, that's from the I'll Be Sure song that we tacked on at the end. And on Can't Hold the Torch, that song is a sample of Love Inside Me by Minnie Riperton.
I love that.
So it's kind of like we wanted people to enjoy the now and also understand that no idea is original. Like, you know, we got this from somewhere. You know, we're paying homage essentially to everyone who came before us, and people who inspired us, to be honest. And really, the name, Drok was just being funny with it. You know? he was just like, yo, like, musical selections by dropping HueGo on some Mozart shit. Like, you know, like,
the cover was gonna be like me and him, like just in complete outfit.
Yeah,
and then the whole thing would be like sheet music.
yeah,
That's how it was supposed to be, but it just ended up.
It ended up developing into something we didn't foresee, because musical selections, when it first started, the sound was a lot more grimy. It was a lot more grittier. Like it was grungy when we first started making it. You know, we had this song called Get Up, and it was like, it sounded like a fucking bank heist or some shit. Like it was ill, but it ended up turning into something. It ended up turning into what it is now. You know, but at first, what? That shit was hard. It's a little soft now, but it's cool.
It almost kind of turned into like an album, because there's only 2 covers on the whole tape, and before it was like 19 covers. You know what I'm saying? We kind of revamped the whole thing at one point. Like, all right, now, like, what do we really want to do? Like, it's like, all right, this is how we're making music. This is how we've been making music for like 4 or 5 years now. And look, we're in my bedroom still. So like, what are we doing different?
Yeah, what are we gonna do different? Like, we just thought it was really important for like people to know Ill and Out Scratch. You know, that's the sample from Homies. So people gotta know Ill and Out Scratch. You have to know that. You know what I'm saying? People gotta know Albie Shore. People gotta know Minnie Riperton. People have to know Crystal Waters. Like, people have to know these things. I felt like we kind of took the responsibility. It was like, yo, here, this is where we get it.
I think your music is really interesting because it reminds me of a throwback. It's like a 90s, it's like 90s beats almost. And it reminds me of Wu-Tang Clan. I was recently listening to them, and like listening to them and listening to you guys, I was like, you guys have that same kind of vibe, the same kind of beat and flow that they have. And I think that's interesting that you're kind of taking music now and throwing it back and bringing it back to like not a mainstream society, but just like letting people know where the new sounds came from, where everything started, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's important to, you know, if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're headed, you know. So wherever our sound goes from here, we just wanted you guys to know that this is where we got it from, you know. So if 2 years from now you hear us doing something that's completely different, know that it's a derivative of this, you know. So we wanted people to know that first before we did anything.
They told me pump it up, and girl, I'm doing what I can. I heard your friend a freak, so girl, just do it like your friend. You bad like Shite Town, so I know I got one chance. Grab them cheeks like Allstate, girl.